Welcome back to another episode of Necessary Measures with me, Venessa. I'm so glad you tuned in to this episode. This episode is about vocabulary building. So, you know the deal. Let's get started. Okay, so this is a fun one. So vocabulary building can help you build better connections with your kids because you're giving them the tools that they need in order to express themselves verbally. So I just wanted to go over a few things to keep in mind as you are helping to build their vocabulary so that you can increase the connection with your kids. Building vocabulary with your kids, it's not just, the flashcards or weekly spelling words that they learn at school or you incorporating some new words into their vocabulary through, let's say, cooking, for example. The biggest factor in vocabulary building for kids is actually how much they hear. Right? So the words that they hear, they're going to mimic the words that they hear, that they hear you use. And so that is one of the biggest factors with kids and expressing themselves in their vocabulary. So if you want to build on their vocabulary and increase their vocabulary, you as well have to, don't just think that because they're kids, they won't get, a big word, air quotes being used there. I know for me, ever since my kids were little, we just didn't believe in like the baby talk and we just called things what they were. If something was super difficult or super complex for them to understand, we still threw it out there because at least that gets them exposed to it. And you'll begin to notice that your kids will just ask you, what's that? Or what's that mean? And that's just an opportunity for you to define the words, explain what they mean, and then they can then use that word in their everyday speaking. And so that's one way that it's going to help them with communicating with you as well as others, right? We want to make sure that our kids are able to express themselves, express their opinions. And so building their vocabulary is a great way to do that. So this one might go without saying, but reading to your kids and also having them see you read definitely increases their vocabulary just naturally. I mean, through books, they're able to see and learn about different scenarios and genres and, people and places. And it just really does open up their world to, bigger terms that they might not, be familiar with in their everyday, speaking and lives. Perfect example of this is while I was in college and I studied abroad. I went to 3 different countries, Norway, Sweden, and South Korea. And even though English is spoken in those countries, there's still a different dialects and different sources of words that they use, and it's really quite cool. And I would bring those experiences back into my classroom. I definitely brought them back into my parenting, and so it's just a way through books to get their minds open, their world open up to what all is out there, and it will help them better communicate and express themselves. So also, you can definitely pair simple words with more complex words. So, for example, if they are, if they look mad about something, right? You can easily switch out those words. Are you mad about something? Instead of saying that, you could say, hey buddy, are you frustrated? Is something frustrating you? And so just that switch, right? And it might not be, that simple, but just that little shift in their vocabulary and in their everyday speech, they're going to incorporate it into theirs. So the next time they are feeling frustrated, they're able to communicate that with you. Mom, Dad, I got really frustrated today, or I got really frustrated at my brother or sister. And so that's just a way for them to put new words to feelings, because there's more emotions out there than just, happy, sad, tired, mad, right? There's a complex, spectrum of emotions, and if they are able to express that to you, if they're able to know how to express that and know what words to use that to pair with that, then that will help them better communicate with you. Okay, so this next one is a little tricky. There's like a thin line between this one. From a parenting perspective, there's talking to your kids and there's talking with your kids. And for me personally, this one is a hard one. This one is almost a daily constant task that I'm working on, making sure to talk with my kids and not talking to them. So the way that I kind of, have a mind shift in the moment is making sure that I just keep in mind their perspective and how they can perceive the conversation that we're having. So as easily or as simple as an opportunity to clean up a spill. It's really easy for us adults or parents to be really frustrated that, they spilled something. Maybe you told them 1,000 times to place the cup, above their plate so that their elbow doesn't knock it off the table. And then lo and behold, the elbow knocks it off the table, and instead of, talking to them, that's an opportunity to talk with them. Oh, buddy, that's what mommy didn't want to happen. Do you know how you could have prevented that? And then just allow them to be a part of the conversation, I think is a big factor in, talking with your kids and not to your kids. Also, it gives them an opportunity to engage with you in the moment, right? So obviously they might see mommy is frustrated or mommy is, upset that I dropped my cup. How could I have prevented this? Use those words with them and build their vocabulary, and you'll begin to see that they will, fold it into their everyday use, and it just allows for a seamless transition into them being able to connect with you. Okay, I've mentioned this in a previous video, but another vocabulary building, connecting, a tip for you is to have mutual respect for your kids. The whole idea or notion of because I'm the parent, I am all knowing, throw that out the window. That is not going to, kids can sense that energy, and they're not going to want to come to you and talk to you with things that are important to them in their world. So just have mutual respect. I know in the classroom, that was part of my first day script, if you will, is to basically just let your children know, hey, we're in this together, and mommy makes mistakes, you'll make mistakes, we're learning, and also I always used to like to set the tone with my students, and I try to do this with my kids as well. Just setting that tone of, hey, when mommy's talking, I need you to listen to mommy and hear everything I'm saying, and I'll do the same for you. When you're talking, I'm going to make sure you have my undivided attention, which is hard with 3 kids, but as much attention as I can possibly control to you at that time. And so that is how they get that sense that there's a mutual respect there, and that will increase your connection with your kids. They'll feel like, okay, well, when I'm ready to talk to mommy, I know that she's listening. When I'm ready to talk to daddy, I know that he's listening. And so just kind of pairing that with vocabulary, right, so that they're able to express to you what they are feeling or what they're going through, will definitely help to strengthen the connection. And my final little tidbit on vocabulary building to build better connections with your kids would be to you want to minimize critiques and you want to maximize praise. So when your kids are coming to you and they are expressing themselves and you're pairing new words for them to keep in their toolbox, it's really important for you to not use an opportunity to shut them down, but always build them up, because that's going to help them, come to you, talk to you, want you to be included in their world. And so I just I say that with all hopes that, you know, as parents, it can be exhausting, right? And we're going through our daily routines, and there's 1,000 things on our mind at any given moment. And so it can be very easy to, you know, to critique what they're doing because we want the best for them. But just know that there are moments that in the long run, it's not gonna matter, right? If they tried their best, if they had fun, that's all. That's what's most important. And so you want to maximize that praise. That, you know, if you have a really shy student if you have a really shy kid and, you know, they pull you aside and they say something to you, and, you know, you would have liked them to speak up, right? That is not the time to say, you know, talk louder, I can't hear you, because you can lose that moment and you could shut them down. So just make sure that you incorporate praising so that they can feel comfortable to come to you at any opportunity that you can. Praise them. I praise mine for like anything. Our almost 2-year-old went to the piano the other day and she's like banging on it loudly. I mean, it was really loud and she was having so much fun. And I didn't want to take that, you know, opportunity to say, you know, oh, we don't, that's not how you know, use the piano keys. Like, who cares? She was making music, she was having fun. Way to go, good baby girl. You did amazing. Bravo, bravo, encore, encore. And just to see their little faces light up just definitely means the world to me. And I know that, you know, in those moments, they really feel good about themselves. And so that is what I try to, you know, have them carry on with them throughout their daily lives. Because remember, I told y'all I am their biggest cheerleader. So you know, just keep these kind of vocabulary building habits in mind, and you will begin to see stronger connections with your kids. And I definitely hope that this helped you. If you can see yourself incorporating these tips into your parenting style, let me know. Drop a comment below. Like this video, share this video with other parents, and subscribe to the Necessary Measures channel so that you can be notified when videos drop just like this one. I will see you next time on Necessary Measures. Take care. Bye.